If you couldn't tell, I'm like pacing around my room right now, just trying to figure out why did Maple Jordan, Mr. Prospect, Mr. Fantastic, Andrew Wiggins become an all-star starter? Okay? The all-star was announced yesterday, all-star starters, and, I was looking, one of them is not like the other. Because you have Steph, Ja. Ja's been amazing. That's a different thing. Jokic, LeBron, Wiggins. Wiggins, let's see, he's 18 points, 2 assists, 4 boards, 41% from 3, 5.5 attempts on 3. That's pretty good. Second seed Golden State Warriors. He's arguably the third most important player on the team. Draymond, Curry. You can make an argument for Jordan Poole to push him to fourth. But, I'm not really counting Clay right now just because Clay's missed, 1,000 days of basketball before this. And, I can see Andrew Wiggins as a wild card, maybe a backup forward. There's a case there. Injury replacement, definitely. But a starter? Huh? Now, obviously, the whole big market bias plays a pretty big role in this, because if Wiggins was in, they made the joke last year, oh, no one plays Utah on 2K. Wiggins was playing in Utah, no one would know who he was. But also, not only that, of him playing with the Warriors, one of the most winningest teams in the past decade. He's playing with Steph Curry, too. And, everyone was talking about, oh, Steph Curry, unanimous MVP. He's lost that. That's a different thing. Everyone has had their eyes on Steph, and by extension, they've had their eyes on Wiggins because, he's been their most consistent starter, I'd say. And I'm not talking about showing up every night. I'm just talking about more games played because, they've had Draymond miss time, and that's the only other really all-star they could have besides Steph. But then again, is Draymond going to be an all-star too in the reserves? And then if he is, obviously he's probably going to be injured. He's not going to play, injury replacement. But it begs the question, at least to me, what do the Warriors have other than a strong fan base to deserve 3 all-stars? Because if it's winning, then obviously Suns are above them. Heat are number 1 in the East. So it can't really be that. And they're not really 73-9 right now, like they did when they had, Curry, Clay, Draymond, or even when the years after when they had Kevin Durant. But yeah, congrats to Wiggins, NBA All-Star. Will he be the last pick in the starter draft? I think so. Honestly, if it was reserves too, I think he'd be the last pick, but that's just me. Unless, KD or LeBron really vibes with Wiggs like that. But anyways, to the rest of the starters, Steph, MVP conversation early on. It's taking a really rough, dry spell right now, but it's Steph Curry. How long would it take before you, sag off of him? Would you have to miss, every shot for 2 years straight? Even then, you'd probably still pay attention to him. And then Ja's been crazy. As I'm recording this, he just had a 40-piece 2 days ago. Not much else I can say. Winning team, 4 seed, I believe. Highlights out of this world, appearing everywhere. LeBron is LeBron, Nikola Jokic, all the praise in the world. On pace for highest PER in a season ever. Plus, 15, 16 when he's on, negative 14 when he's off, around there. Which basically just means that when he's on the floor, they're a great team. And when he's off, they can't score. They're G Leaguers. Which, if you look, isn't too far off. But those 4, super deserving, high praise. All have been in the MVP conversation, at least a little bit. Wiggins, if we move on to the East, we have Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis, Joel, KD. KD is probably going to miss it because he was, 6 to 8 weeks with his injury. And then DeRozan is the only issue with me. Not because I don't think he's deserving. He's been phenomenal, really helped that Bulls team get to where they are. But why is he listed at guard? Has he played a minute of guard this season? He's been mostly 4 with Patrick Williams out, but some 3 too. But, him at guard, I'm not complaining because it makes him a starter, but I just hope it doesn't take Zach LaVine's spot because that would be kind of disrespectful. I hope it doesn't make it so one of the other deserving guys, like one of the fringe, LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland, Fred VanVleet, I hope most of them still make it. Obviously, one of them has to be snubbed because, more forwards, even though I think they deserve it over Jared Allen. But not to throw any strays at Jared Allen, but you know what I mean. And then obviously, if DeMar was a forward, he wouldn't be starting because I think we all thought Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, all locks. Like I said before, MVP combo for them. Trae Young, I think it could have been a toss-up between him and Zach LaVine for who started. And then DeRozan, again, toss-up between him, Zach LaVine, Trae, even James Harden, even though he had a bit of a dry spell early on because everyone thought he was washed and refs weren't, they were kind of choking their whistles. But I digress. He's still an all-star, 75% of James Harden is still an all-star. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about all-stars right now. That's kind of my rant. This is my first reaction, really. I thought about it for a little bit, but first reactions. In conclusion, go Wiggins, proud of you. DeMar should be a forward, but I'm not mad because he's starting. And everyone else, very deserving.